Okay, good morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m. Asking you to please rise if you're able. We open the start and the pledge of allegiance before we begin the commission's public meeting. Dear gracious and loving God, as we enter the last month of the year and season of giving, it would be reminded of your grace and love for us. This morning we pray for Andrew Wolf, guardsman that was wounded last week in Washington, D.C. Pray for a full recovery from his injuries. Give him the strength, endurance, and peace, along with his family and friends during this difficult journey. Pray for the family, Sarah Baxter, that was tragically taken while serving our country. Comfort her family and friends during this horrific loss. May her memory live on as a bright light as she was in this world. This Sunday morning, we'll remember another faithful Sunday morning. 84 years ago, when evil attacked Pearl Harbor. Remember and honor the 2,400 American heroes that lost their lives that morning. Half of them were on the USS Arizona, and over 400 sailors and Marines on the USS Oklahoma. Over 1,100 were wounded on that fateful day. And remember the two young men, Paul Free and Billy Brandt from Lycoming County, and died as heroes. The memories, along with these other Americans, paid the ultimate sacrifice, will never be forgotten. This attack led to the greatest generation who stood their ground and defended our freedom. It gave them the courage and bravery to fight evil. Let's honor them by protecting our freedoms for future generations. We ask you to protect our troops throughout the world. As we remember Pearl Harbor, witness the evil that is evident today, let's pray for peace. And remember your love and share it, not only during this season, but throughout the entire year. Now, guys, this morning, every day, just request humbly your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll convene our commissioners' public meeting and ask for approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, do we have any public comment on agenda items only? Yes.
Commissioner, there's nothing in the agenda about the budget. Is this the time to speak about that or at the end?
At the end, please.
Okay.
Okay, we have a long agenda, but if you don't mind, at the
No,
end.
that's fine.
Okay,
I have two
thank you.
things.
Thank you. Okay, we have, moving on, we have a service, we have any comments online?
Nothing online as of yet.
Okay, thank you. Service awards, we have one today. And who's going to do the presentation? Nikki?
I will.
Okay, morning.
Good morning.
Right behind you. You didn't go the other way.
Words can't express and adequately convey the significant contributions that Matt has made to not just Lycoming County, but to the legal profession and to the service of Lycoming County during his decade here. He came to us in 2015. In 2019, he became the first assistant public defender. And I was stressing about being chief and now what? And he said, don't worry, you're not alone. I have your back. So I assigned him to go to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court and argue, which he won. He then one day was pacing in front of my office and he said, halfway through the conversation, and Skip thinks it's a good idea. I said, what? Oh, going to the DA's office. Not just I, but the entire criminal justice system in Lycoming County was shocked. But when he went to the DA's office, he prosecuted people who needed prosecuted. He incarcerated folks who probably, though not as a public defender, but as a district attorney and as a community, needed incarcerated. But more importantly, as part of Lycoming County's treatment court programs, he gave people an opportunity, and those who really wanted to change their lives got that opportunity that they likely would not have got He really has saved lives. And I had a friend who had a shopping spending compulsion, which was destroying her marriage. And Matt was at that point facilitating a smart recovery course meeting. And I sent her. And through, in part, Matt's support and her commitment to that, and she thanked me for sending her to Matt. She saved her marriage, lost 100 pounds, and started running marathons. And literally through his support.
And she thanked him for that.
She thanked me, and I took that as a great compliment. So when I lured him back to the public defender's office, he has been a mentor to my younger attorneys. He is giving defenses that are deserved to our criminal defendants. And for all of those things, I congratulate Matt for 10 years here. I'd love to say I believe he'd stay another 10, but I don't know that we can convince him to do that. And I want to thank him for 10 years of commitment, dedication, and the service that he's provided to Lycoming County and the community as a whole.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to say anything. Oh, just briefly, I've truly grown up over the last 10 years. I remember walking, starting my employment here back in November of 2015. Pretty green lawyer, really scared to death about, I was just handed a bunch of files and kind of, thrown into court, and I was scared to death. And, I can look back on that now 10 years later and look at all the experiences that I've had. Nick mentioned going to the Supreme Court. We have another one coming up again, Superior Court, just some of the pretty intense trials that I've been able to handle, just all kinds of different things. And then that's not even to mention everything I've been able to do with the treatment court programs, recovery and in the local community, speaking opportunities at the Capitol, at conferences, things like that. It's been a pleasure. It's been so much growth, so much change, not just professionally, but in my personal life. I now married with a baby, and just it's been amazing. I'm thankful to the county for all the opportunities that have been afforded me over the last decade, and those along with my time at the district attorney's office was amazing. So, who knows where the next 10 years will lead, but, I know over this last decade, I've really, I wasn't the most, didn't behave myself entirely prior to this, but I always looked at my time here at the county and still do as a way to give back as well to the local community. And I feel like I've been able to do that effectively through this position and through my position at the DA's office. Thanks to everyone here. Thanks to all you guys.
Well, we think the next 10 years should lead you right back across the street. That would be what we would vote for. What were you in front of the Supreme Court? What was the case about?
Oh, that case was just about a guy that had gotten taken off of, released early from probation and was brought back, was put back on probation. It was not the most ground shaking issue in the world. It was about whether or not you could rescind an order after you removed someone from probation, put back on after you got arrested again. But we do have another one that has a little bit more teeth to it coming up here. Soon to be scheduled, so looking forward to that. It's a pretty amazing opportunity to go down there.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful courtroom. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably seen it before. Beautiful courtroom. It's very to go in front of the justices. It's professionally and personally just a really awesome experience.
Well, thank you, Matt, for your service. It's tough to find attorneys to work in the DA's office and the public defender's office. And there's a shortage, and we appreciate your service over the years. It's usually a revolving door, as Nikki can tell you. They move on to other types of work. I know from working next door, Nikki probably said this 1,000 times. You hear a defendant, I don't want a public defender, I want a real attorney. Well, you guys are real attorneys. You go to law school, you pass the bar, you are real attorneys, you know the law, and yet a lot of times your clients don't appreciate you for what you do and the service you provide to them and the community. So we thank you for that and hope that you stay on.
I was thinking about, aside from Martin and Nick, I guess I'm the third longest tenured attorney in the county, right?
Tina's been
Well,
around and then back.
consistently, yeah.
How many years have you been here, Nick?
I walked in the door 40 years ago, in January, the intern, I was hired in August of 1986. I just refused to leave. I have a great debt to the county. When I did law school, the county provided funding because they had the ability at that point to pay fully. So the thing that I signed said, I'd stay for 5 years when I was done. Well, it's only been 30.
Well, Nicole, you've been such an asset to us. I have ever sit in my office having conversations with you over the years, and you've been a tremendous asset, Nicole. We can't thank you enough. Lycoming County's blessed to have you and have you as a mentor to Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Andy sings karaoke with my grandson many, many years ago. Had a little office retreat. So he has his own child
So
now.
you gonna do that now?
It's still, I brought it back down, I didn't do it up at the DA's office. It's just a little different vibe. And I do still have the machine, it's under my desk. I haven't broken it out yet in the last year, but maybe Christmas though, stuff. We could see some Christmas songs coming out.
Well, Matt, thank you very much for 10 years of service with the county. In today's environment, where people come and go a lot quicker than that, we appreciate the 10 years you've dedicated your life to the county. We appreciate any more that you're willing to dedicate to the county, but thank you so much for that service.
And we have a service pin and a certificate for you. I'd like to get a picture of you, Nicole. Yeah. Would you like them up, no?
I tried to get her, she said no.
Another important part of the public defender's office, thank you for your service.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
All right.
You sure you don't want to? Kenyon, there's other lawyers in this one. Sure you don't want to get in this?
Be okay.
And you're a dad now, so what's harder, being a dad or being a lawyer?
Oh, geez. I've been very fortunate with Penelope, so but I'm all the draw right now.
How old is she?
16 months old.
Oh, you're in trouble, buddy.
She can almost
The
take care
girl.
of herself.
Yeah.
He's just as good of a dad as he is a lawyer.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
One came out at night, and the board doesn't look like him.
Okay, Nikki.
Good morning.
Morning.
So we had a bid due for correction officer uniforms and we received 3 bids. The first one was from Galls at $543.88. Rogers Uniforms at $621 and Uniform Warehouse at $459.50.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we have 3 cash requirements today. The first one is a reissue of an ACH return on an employee's payroll in the amount of $1,259.74. And that is 100% out of the general fund.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
All fair side? Aye.
The next one presented for your ratification are invoices due through December 3rd, 2025, to be paid on November 26th, 2025, in the amount of $4,532,034.03, 72.85% out of the general fund, 11.03% out of ARPA, 8.57% out of other grants, 7.35% from RMS, and 0.2% from escrow.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
And lastly, presented for your ratification are invoices due through December 10th, 2025, to be paid on December 3rd, 2025, in the amount of $3,183,906.89, 97.74% out of the general fund, 0.7% out of RMS, and 2.09% out of escrow.
And 2.1 million of that out of the general fund was for the flood mitigation grant, correct?
Yes.
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 The large chunk of that was from that. Motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side? Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have some informational highlights. We are blessed today to have the Salvation Army here to give us an update. Of Major Cheryl Hershey and Will Templeton. Thank you for being here, ladies.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for inviting us. I understand I only have 10 minutes, so that means 5 is mine and 5 is Laura's. So we're just going to update you on our Christmas and what's happening with our Christmas goals. We do several programs for Christmas. We have kettles, we have a sheets program, we have an adopted family program, and we have Festival of Trees. Our kettle program now currently, to date, we have raised 32,000. Our goal for kettles is 125,000, and we've now got 3 weeks to fill that. So I'm throwing it out on the commissioner's table. I think that you should do a commissioner's kettle and do a competition between the 3 of you. 4 of you. You can put you in there too.
I'll do it.
There you go. We have local churches that stand for us. We have local businesses. We have service clubs that stand. We have several volunteers who are just calling and saying, hey, I want to ring a bell. And it's been wonderful. We've been doing well. The weather has not been very nice to us, but we are headed towards our goal, and we are very excited about that. We work with the Sheets program as well, with Sheets Incorporated. They adopt from us 36 children, and they provide them with toys and clothing and food and gift cards and all kinds of stuff. That distribution is going to happen this Saturday coming up with the Sheets program, as long as with the Salvation Army. We actually cover the county for this. That everybody that's doing the Sheets party comes to the Salvation Army, and we all hand out together as a group organization, which I like that. I don't do that. My assistant does that. But it's a good program, and we cover about, I believe it's 80 children that we cover for that program. Our social services program for Christmas applications, we currently have taken 485 applications for toys and food. We have stopped the application process, but we are making an emergency list. And last year we did about 100 extra families for that. So we ended up doing about 600 families, 500 to 600 families for Christmas. That gives them a food, turkey, and toys per child. We give toys per child. We partner with Toys for Tots with that. Toys for Tots supplies us with a lot of our toys, as well as our Angel Tree program. If you've been to Walmart, there currently are no tags on that tree right now, but there will be some tags there as of today. We partner with Walmart. Patrons come in, take a tag off, bring a toy back. So we are blessed with toys. The children are blessed with what they receive here, and we are very excited about that program. And I'm going to turn it over to Laura for Toys for Festival of Trees.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you for having us today. One of the projects that I'm in charge of, also want to thank you for coming to our Red Kettle Kickoff Breakfast. That sets the tone for the rest of the season, and that was tremendously successful. We really appreciate your being there. One of the other fundraisers we have, in addition to the usual Red Kettles that everybody's familiar with, is this is the 23rd year for the Festival of Trees. Used to be out at the mall. Then we were blessed to have it in this building for 2 years. And this year, the Genetti is offered to host it. So if you make your way to the Genetti, there are 30 decorated trees. And this year, we've added also 17 wreaths that different businesses, organizations, other nonprofits have sponsored. All of the wreaths, the trees, and also the incentive packages that the sponsors have provided will all be auctioned off on Friday, December 12th. So I'd like to invite everybody to that auction. Bidder registration is 5:30 to 7. And new this year, we're also having a light mixer for the people registering to be bidders in the auction. Check out the trees, come have some appetizers, and it should be a very good evening. I want to thank too Mike Rohn of Rohn Real Estate, who has volunteered his auctioneering services for this event for all 23 years and is part of our committee. So it's really excellent. Each year, this event raises an additional $15,000 to $20,000 usually for our Christmas season, and all those funds, including what Major talked about, go to support our programs and services, not just at Christmas, but all year round. So we do thank you for your support. The community has been very wonderful to us. We're just grateful to have been such a the Lycoming County has been very good to us in terms of a home base locally. You may not realize it, but since 1923, the Salvation Army has been at the corner of Market and North Streets here. They're not the same building. And there was a new build in 1971, but the same corner. And we've been in Lycoming County serving since 1885. So with your help, we can continue for more than another century in serving those in need in our community. Thank you.
What's the phone number that we call to sign up for ringing the bell?
570-407-1926. That's my cell phone.
Okay. So anyone who wants to sign up can call that number,
That's right.
and I'll try to urge these two to competition.
Yeah, that works for me. Put Chris in there too if you want.
Where, like, how many businesses do you have bell ringers at around the county?
So kettle sites.
Yeah.
We stand at Walmart.
I know Walmart.
Sam's Club,
Sam's, yeah.
TJ Maxx, Hobby Lobby. And then we put a kettle in front of the Genetti on Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays.
Okay.
But I know which stands the best.
Hobby Lobby.
Huh?
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Sam's? I always said Sam's.
Walmart.
Walmart, right?
Walmart, yeah. The help of Walmart, they provide us with. They do a lot for us. So.
But we want to thank those businesses too for
Absolutely.
participating.
Absolutely.
And I would be remiss too, if I didn't mention that we would not be able to do all this Christmas assistance toys without our partner Toys for Tots. The Toys for Tots, Marines from Lycoming County.
Yeah.
We have our angel tree tags that she talked about. Toys come in from the community filling those tags, but a large part of the toys that we distribute also come in from the Toys for Tots boxes, and they're a tremendous partner to us.
They do a phenomenal job, and they have their boxes all over the place. They're everywhere, and I see them. So one that the East Lycoming Y, there, when I was walking out of there, they had a box down there.
There's a sign in your elevator.
Yeah. Yeah, we have one right here. It's veterans.
So when you help them, you're helping us help in the community as well.
Hey, well, thank you for everything you do. It's tremendous service for well over 100 years. We can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I guess I was looking for them.
I did the back.
Hi, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, informational items. First one's a promotion in the courts. Erica Gardner, senior court reporter, pay grade 10, full-time at 37.92877 cents per hour, 75 hours per pay period. Effective date, January 5th. There should be 2026, not 25. And then the other one there in the courts, Gabriel Hockman, administrative specialist, pay grade 6, full-time, $18.2108 per hour at 75 hours per pay period with an effective date December 21, 2025.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This time we'll recess the Commissioners' Public Meeting for the salary board. The salary board this time. Nikki?
Good morning again.
Morning.
First, I have vote to approve the salary board minutes from the November 20th, 2025 meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then I have just to approve the following administrative error from the November 13th, 2025 salary board meeting. The deletion of the work crew foreman supervisor position should have been the work crew foreman position.
Okay, motion to business error.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll turn to salary boards this time. Reconvene the Commissioners' Public Meeting for personal actions. Mike?
All right, good morning again. Approve the following personnel actions as conditional offers of employment, subject to successful completion, excuse me, of a background check and all other employment conditions outlined in attachment A. Domestic relations, Allison Allen, customer service specialist, pay grade 4, full-time at $15.759816 per hour, 75 hours per pay period, effective date November 23rd, 2025. In domestic relations, Suzanne Hutchins, intake specialist, pay grade 4, full-time, $17.587044 per hour at 75 hours per pay period, effective date November 23rd, 2025. In the pre-release center, Bryant Solomon, resident supervisor, union, full-time at $19.20 per hour at 80 hours per pay period. Anticipated start date, December 15th, 2025. In the prison, Samuel Hostrander, correctional officer, union, full-time, $20 per hour, 80 hours per pay period. Effective date, December 7th, 2025. Also in the prison, Brock Mayer, correctional officer, union, part-time at $20 per hour, not to exceed 1,000 hours annually. Anticipated start date, December 15th, 2025. And this last one is pending a salary board item in public safety EMS. Donald Gordner, regional field coordinator, pay grade 7, full-time, $40,884.48 per year, 75 hours per pay period. Anticipated start date, December 15th, 2025.
Could I ask for an executive session real quick on some of these personnel actions?
Thank you. Think we come with us.
We need to vote on that or?
I just got
We could take executive session.
Everybody have a good Thanksgiving. Everybody travel. I know some people that traveled. Leslie, you got somewhere fun. I should ask the guys, anybody get any hunting done?
Not enough.
Not enough. It's never enough, Cam. And I won't even ask if you got anything. I don't want to embarrass anybody. Emily went to Disney over Thanksgiving. That was fun. Guys, no, you guys, yeah, it's like I'm open mic night and I'm a terrible comedian.
stand-up comedy out here.
All right, to re-clarify, the last one there is pending.
Return. Okay, go ahead.
The last one there is pending the salary board item, public safety EMS, Donald Gordner, regional field coordinator, pay grade 7, full-time at $40,884.48 per year, 75 hours per pay period. This is anticipated start date of December 15th, 2025, pending the salary board.
Okay. All right, thank you for that clarification.
Yep, you're welcome.
And motion is to accept the personnel action.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Favor side?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you,
All
Mike.
right, thank you.
Okay, personnel actions. Nancy, I believe you're first.
Good morning, Commissioner. Juvenile probation is asking for your approval for our 25-26 contract with Justice Works Youth Care for their VIP violation initiative program. That's 9375, and VIP diversion, which is 9375. That's a 5% increase from last year.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
And then the next one we have, 8.2, is for Doris Mano's House. That's an adolescent inpatient rehabilitation and independent living. Currently, we do not have anybody staying there. Mano's House is $282.20. That's 8.965 increase from last year, and then the independent living is $276.75, and that's an 8.84% increase from last year.
Okay, motion.
I'm assuming those are per day, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? Again, Nancy, thank you for doing your part to try to keep the expenses down. We know the juvenile budget has increased dramatically. And you've done your part to help. Your staff has, all the officers over there and the courts have done their best to try to keep the expenses down.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All fair side.
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, too.
Morning.
Morning, Gary.
Action items 8.3 is vote to approve the purchase from Cross Chemical in the amount of $20,794.80. The 2025 approved budgeted item. So this is the product we use for our odor control system. It's around our perimeter of our landfill to keep the odors down from our site.
That's very important, especially for people who live nearby, right, Larry? Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, action item 8.4 is vote to approve the invoices for ALS Group USA Corp. In the amount of $1,140. Also a budgeted item. So this is some of our groundwater samples. It showed up here early in the year. Alex sent them, and it was the department's recommendation that we get a third-party lab to test that and get it basically another opinion on it, which we got all squared away. Everything came back clear. We do not currently have a contract with ALS. That's why it's on the agenda.
And motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Further questions or comments? All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Gary.
Morning.
Morning,
Morning,
Forrest.
Forrest.
I have two things for you today. The first is our application to the city of Williamsport. We do this every year to close Pine Street, the block right behind where you're sitting. We closed this block on election night for our operations to create parking spaces for the poll workers. The sheriff's office does a great job. They put in all the manpower and equipment to effect the closure, but we do have to get this permit approval from the city to be able to do that. And so this would be for your approval.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And my second item here is, I would describe it as a sustaining agreement with Tony Visco, our architect. He has been amazing, helping us to get our polling places, into compliance with accessibility requirements. The existing agreement we have with him, however, will expire at the end of March of next year. And what this agreement would take us through the end of 2028. It would be to only use him on an as-needed basis. So if we don't have any polling place changes, we don't need it. But it's like, very much like the sort of agreements we have for conflict attorneys, that kind of thing. You have to have an arrangement in place because you don't know when you might need to change a polling place. And if we do, it's obviously more involved now than it ever was before because of this settlement agreement with the Department of Justice. So we have to make sure that we have an expert who's on hand, able to respond to help us evaluate a potential new facility and identify accessibility issues and what will need to be done. This would be not to exceed $10,000 per year if we have to use his services, but we could have many years where we don't use them at all.
Are all the sites updated?
We're getting toward the end of the road on that right now, that we're still in the second contract, which is covering about 35 facilities. They're racing against the clock right now because the weather is turning. They're trying to get the concrete work done and they still have some other things, but we're getting near the end of that. When that is done, we'll be done except for a couple very minor loose ends.
I think the concrete work's pretty much done for this year.
Yeah, and I haven't had a chance to talk to him lately because of the cleanup from the election, but we're kind of gonna need to do a top down, where are we at? And he's in the process of going back out to a lot of these places because at the beginning of the process with the settlement agreement, we documented the state of each facility as it was when we found it, when Department of Justice found it. But we also have to go back and document. Now we're looking at it, everything is in compliance and we have a survey and a record and photographs of that. And that will be part of our record of compliance to Department of Justice. So he's doing that now as well, and they'll continue that over the winter.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, it locks in the rates at today's rates for the next 3 years. So that's the benefit to the county relative to that. The partnership with Mr. Visco has been beneficial to that regard, and his knowledge of what the historical pieces are of this DOJ order and maintaining that and that relationship, I think protects the county moving forward.
Absolutely. We don't want to have the Department of Justice come back and knock on our door again, except, that they want to get our paperwork from us. That's the only thing we want. No offense to the Department of Justice if they're watching, but we're doing our part. We're going to keep them happy so that they never have to, come back and look at our polling places again.
Okay.
So Forrest, just to verify then, this contract is strictly on the current legal agreement we have with DOJ.
That's
This
right.
isn't everything for your area of the county. So if there was something new that happened, we would put that back out the bid. It would automatically go.
This is only for professional services related to evaluating the facilities. So the service he provides is he'll go out, survey a facility, identify the accessibility issues. He can even draw up documents for what the construction needs to look like because he's the one that would check the contractor to say, you did this right, you did this wrong. The contract said you need to do this, so you need to fix it. So he's the expert that can check that and hold them accountable. But if there was any construction that needed to happen, that would be a whole separate, talk to Maya too. We got to go out to bid again. We would have to go through that process.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you first. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
That's second.
All fair side.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Forrest.
Maya.
Morning.
Good morning. Right, the first item I have for you, 8.7, is vote to approve the agreement with Cybergenetics. This is for the district attorney's office. It's to receive $100,000. This is for expert consultation and forensic laboratory services as related to some upcoming cases.
Okay. Does this come out of any of his special funds or just come out of general?
It comes out of general.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
All fair side.
Aye.
And just to expand upon his special funds, so with his special funds, there's limitations on uses, like we talk about the Act 81 funds, it's specific to central processing. So he has limitations on what he can use it for.
I just want to make sure that if there's any special funds that elected officials have that allows the expenses to be spent, it helps the general fund.
Sure, and I look at that from the
It's allowable by
purchasing.
law,
Mhm.
First of all.
Yeah.
And then, if you do that, it definitely helps the.
Yeah, just as an example, the prison is really good about it with their commissary surplus funds. So when things are coming through and as long as it's within an eligible thing, I typically try to work with departments and the elected officials to help offset those costs.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
next.
The next one, 8.8, vote to approve the contract with Patricia Shipman Esquire. This is not to exceed $60,000. This is to help with the enforcement of support orders in the district, district attorneys, the domestic relations office. This is required by their Title 4D monies in accordance with Department of Human Services, and it is 66% reimbursed
By the state.
by the state. Yep.
Okay, good. A motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
8.9, vote to approve the amendment to the agreement with Cornerstone and Discovery. This is for digital forensic services. It's just to increase the maximum hours of compensation. It was originally 30 hours. It's going to 40 hours. This is for the Public Defender's Office. And again, this is related to an upcoming case.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
And then 8.10 is vote to approve the agreement with Geisinger Clinic. This is not to exceed $25,000. This is for the district attorneys. This is for expert consultation. And again, use it on, I think sometimes they just have like on an as needed basis. And then if they're used, then we draw down from it. But if not, then don't spend any money.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Okay, good morning, Stacy.
Good morning. Okay, so the first thing that I have, 8.11, is vote to approve the agreement with Keystone Communications in the amount of $38,783. This is a renewal of an agreement. And this is for the microwave maintenance for the Lycoming microwave and 7705 system used throughout the ESINet system for 26.
Thank you. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
And the next one, 8.12, vote to approve the agreement with Keystone Communications in the amount of $46,848. This is also a renewal agreement. And this is so that they shall provide 24 hours a day, 365-day a year coverage on all simulcast control repeater stations, base stations, simulcast infrastructure, Digitac, voters, Motorola, and dispatch console positions NI system.
Thank you. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Morning, Leslie.
Morning.
Yeah, quite a few here.
Normally. 8.13, Commissioners, we're seeking your approval to renew our service agreement with Internet Software Solutions. This is just for the paging system out of Department of Public Safety and the amount of $249.95 for 2 years.
Okay, motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All fair side?
Aye.
8.14, seeking your approval to renew the Quincy Technology Solutions software for the coroner's office in the amount of $6,621. And this is just their case management software.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Is there an irony that it's Quincy?
Right.
And being a coroner, the show Quincy Technology Solutions. I love that.
Maybe.
I love that. Okay, all in favor, we have motion second, all fair side?
Aye. Cam has no idea who you're talking about. Not a clue.
8.15. So 8.15, 8.16, and 8.17 kind of go together as one project. We're just going to do them separately. So 8.15, we're seeking your approval for a project for the prison for the AI project. This is an intercom system for the entire prison system in the amount of $41,531.84. And I brought Zach along just in case you had any questions that I couldn't answer. So basically, they do have this in their budget, and Zach worked really diligently to get all of these numbers down, and he's saving around $23,000.
Like that, Zach, thank you.
Zach?
I wondered why you were here.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, the big part is that we'll be able to save a lot of money because we're going to do most of the install in-house. So we're going to run all the data wires ourselves. We're going to mount all the devices. And that was going to be a huge cost to have another company come in. And then we would have to have our officers escort them too. So with our team, we don't need that. We can go ahead and pull everything into us. Will be faster than an outside company.
Thank you. Felix, thanks. Thank you. Anytime you can save us $23,000, you're welcome. attend any meeting.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. A motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
One second. On your side. Aye.
And then still a part of that is 8.16. This is just to purchase from Cooper Electric the cabling that we're going to need in the amount of $902.62.
I'll make the motion.
A second. On your side. Aye.
And then last for that project is 8.17, seeking your approval to purchase 2 network switches from E Plus in the amount of $11,003.14 for the project.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
A second. On your side. Aye.
8.18, seeking your approval to renew our Dell lease for our equipment in the amount of $293,605.47. This is next to the last payment for our Dell equipment. So next year will be our last, and then we'll own it.
Okay. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Any questions or comments? Will be the same amount next year too?
I'm sorry,
Will be the same amount next year?
sadly.
Or won't go
Yeah,
over?
it's for our Dell infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we signed a 5-year lease. And then at the end, I think it costs us $1 to then own it.
What do you think the life of it will be after that? Do you have any idea?
Well, that's the hard conversation that we're gonna have next year, to see if we can keep it going for a few more years and just keep support on it. We're hoping, because we don't want to have to do that again so soon.
Motion to accept. The second. Your side. Aye.
8.19, this is a maintenance renewal with Postage Pros Plus in the amount of $5,391.32. This is support on our envelope opener that we use for voter services for the election, the envelope printer that we print all of the envelopes for Lycoming County, and the envelope sealer, which has been a heaven sent in sealing envelopes and sorting. So
Yeah, these devices save so much time.
they're amazing. Yeah.
I know the envelope opener.
The opener,
Put
yeah.
it down.
It did, and we had to open by hand, and it took
Yeah.
us a lot longer, but we still got through it.
Yep, you did. Big team. Okay, motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. On your side. Aye.
And the last, seeking your approval to renew our, sorry, lost it. Oh, okay, not a renewal. This is to purchase a prison data storage device for the prison to store all of their camera data for evidence. This will be with B&H for the amount of $4,545.87. Zach, if I recall, the unit that you have today is just full and is not working properly. So this is just going to replace that to store all their video.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
A second. On your side.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Kim.
Item 8.21 is a vote to approve change order 22 with Keystruct. This has to do with our lighting trim rings at the corner build. When we got to that point, the trim rings were no longer available for the light we chose. So the construction team fabricated light rings for us. We will be upfronting the cost for those, but then getting reimbursed through the electrician company, their contingency funds. So we'll be getting that money back, no matter which account it's coming out of right now.
So it won't be any extra cost.
Correct.
We pay up front and they reimburse us.
Correct.
Okay. Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. Any further comments or questions?
No, I would just make a comment. I'm glad we clarified that. That's one that we had tabled last week based upon an additional change order that seemed ridiculous. And of course, we did find out through Cam's efforts that we could get reimbursed for it. So that's why that's back on the agenda today.
Thank you, Kim, for following up on it.
No problem.
Fair side.
Item 8.22 is a vote to agree for the Choice Carpet Cleaner contract. They are the cleaning company that does all of our remote sites like our magistrates, and they'll be picking up the corridor bill once it's up and running for 2026.
Motion to accept.
I'll make the motion.
I'm going to second, I'm going to ask the question, looking at how often are we having these carpets cleaned that we're only, I mean, how often are they doing it? We're talking about $100 cleaning, but $21,000 totals.
Correct. The company name is a little deceiving. They are a custodial janitorial company. They don't just do carpets.
So they're not cleaning the carpets, they're cleaning the facilities.
Yes, they come into our sites once a week and they do janitorial mopping and bathroom cleaning.
And this is for the entire year?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's quite a few buildings.
Yes.
Four buildings.
Yeah, it's bottom of page
$100
7.
a week.
On the bottom of page 7, it gives all the description.
I thought it was just cleaning the carpet. I wondered why we're doing it so often. If I didn't say second.
And the range, you did say second. The range is roughly 100 to 120 a week. For facilities, it has it broken down in the cost. Yeah. Okay, motion to accept.
I think we are in
Second. Yep. All fair side. Aye. Okay, thank you, Kim.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Dan. All right, action item 8.23, vote to approve the following reappointments to the Conservation District Board. I believe we are tabling this until next week because we did have some additional nominees that were added to the list. Is that correct, commissioners?
Motion. We need,
Yeah, is there a motion to table it?
I'll make the motion to table.
I will second.
Any further questions or comments before we table it? A vote. Okay, all in favor of tabling it, say aye. Aye.
All
Okay,
right, thank
table.
you.
Thank you.
Action item 8.24, vote to approve changes to the Family and Medical Leave Policy 305, which is an internal policy. This was merely an update to a new template and just a review to make sure it aligned with the Department of Labor's Family and Medical Leave Act 1993.
Is there a motion to approve the changes to the Family Medical Leave Policy 305?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any further comments or questions?
No, I would thank both Shannon and Michael Hagan and our HR, as our HR director, on the work they put into adjusting some very old policies. And that's, I think, things we'll see throughout our 2026 year that we'll be updating policies that affect employees.
We still have a lot of policies that need updated. When I first ran, my first time around, I had stated there was 56 policies that had not been updated since June 24th, 1999. And it's just not acceptable. Policies should be looked at every 2 to 3 years and looked at, either revised or updated. And we got about half of those done my first term due to the work of our HR department. Still have we still have quite a few left.
We've got a lot left.
In our HR department, and Shannon has been diligently working on them. This is an important one that we're talking about today. It affects our employees. So, thank you again for your work on it.
Oh, thank you.
Continue to get these updated.
And then action item 8.25, this is. Oh, I thought you did.
All fair side?
Oh, I thought you did. Sorry, my bad. I thought you voted on it. Action item 8.25, this is the vote to approve the parental leave policy 305.1. This was a new policy, and it was it's basically a child policy off of the parental family and medical leave policy. And I do, as Commissioner Sortman said, I would like to thank Michael Hagan specifically because this is a policy that he had written. So he did all the hard work, and I only needed to make some minor changes to get that to align with the parent family medical leave policy and some additional things that we wanted to add to that. And I also wanted to thank Lee Moore Laramie, who is part of the HR staff, who was very monumental in doing a lot of the legwork and a lot of typing and meetings to make sure that we aligned with the federal policy. So that was a lot of hard work. So I'd really like to thank both of those two.
These aren't policies you throw together in 5 minutes.
No, they are not.
They take a lot of time. So we want to thank them both, and also Shannon for working on this and getting it done as quickly as you did. So we have a motion. Do we motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll say.
All in favor, side?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Comments?
It'd be nice to talk about money this week. So I'll talk about the family medical leave policy and the parent leave policy. As we bring younger employees within the county and they're looking to have families, it's policies like this that need updated that follow the federal government as well as being a good employer to the employee that does make a decision to have children or have elderly parents that they need leave for, or just themselves as our staff is also growing in age. This helps them as well. So I appreciate the efforts that were put into it, and nice to have a comment about a positive thing that we are doing at the county. We talk money all the time, and obviously that's very important to us and the taxpayers, but there's so many other aspects of the county that go on a daily basis. And we are blessed to have a team that works very hard at all these other topics as well that we come across. So I want to thank everybody for that, but more importantly, share that, we are moving in a good direction with family leave acts following the federal government. So thank you.
Again, it's important that we get these policies updated, and glad to see that we're addressing it. We got some of them done a few years ago. Now we're going to get the rest of them done. So with the staff we have now, should have been updated a long time ago. Thankful that we're addressing that.
We've often talked about how fortunate we are to live, in Lycoming County and in the United States, where we have so much to be thankful for. And then going through, obviously last weekend, but Thanksgiving holiday, and I think Mark mentioned it last week, like with all the struggles we have in financially and in the county and all the things, we still have so much to be thankful for, where we are and what we have. And over the holiday, my daughter brought home a friend from college who is actually from Ukraine. And she, at the beginning of they're both seniors. So she's been in college for 4 years. And at the beginning of the war, her family was kind of like, you got to get out. And they sent her to the United States. And I'm not actually sure who she lived with at first, but she got to the United States like 6 months before she could enroll in college, even though she was accepted, she couldn't start yet. And she was there, and I asked her if she'd been back home since, and she has not. She has seen her parents, but the parents who have stayed in Ukraine won't let her back in Ukraine because it's too dangerous. So they met in Germany, I think last time, she said. So, and just sitting there listening, and she's, just a normal, 20 whatever year old kid, just like everybody else. And if you walk past her, you would never notice anything's different, except if you talk to her, she has a little bit of an accent, but, and then you hear what her life is like and what her family's life is like. And I just said, well, what part of Ukraine are you from? And she just said the East, which, if you know, is the worst part to be in. So it's one of those subtle little reminders of yeah, we have challenges here and we have struggles and we're updating policies and we're trying to do this job the best we can. But, in the grand scheme of things, how fortunate we are to live where we are and under what flag we live under. And yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. The weather here's going to continue to get colder. We have a cold spell coming in the next 24 hours.
Are you saying the weather outside is frightful?
It's going to be bitterly cold, so please check on your neighbors. If you have any elderly neighbors, if you have any pets that stay outside, please bring them in under these extreme conditions. So when it gets down to 10 and 12 at night, it's not fit for anybody to be out there. Just please make sure you check on pets and the elderly individuals and if you know anybody's having trouble with their heat sources, there are agencies out there that can assist them. Fuel bills and make sure that their homes are properly heated. Public comment. Public comment. Yeah, please. Come to the podium and introduce yourself.
I don't know how to do.
Okay.
Tony does.
Good morning.
Morning. Morning. My name is Jody Rogers, Rogers Uniforms, 700 West 3rd Street. Just wanted to make comment as to consideration for the bid for the correctional officers' uniforms. Much like you stated, a lot of policies are outdated. Right, I can only see both. The bid has not been out for several years. I've had it without raising the prices, 5 years. And it was a yearly bid. And when it came back out, it was pretty vague. And there were some questions. I tried to get some answers. I called the offices and I didn't get responses. If you notice some of the bid work that I did, I was a little raw at it because I didn't know how to answer it. There was some lines where I put two prices because there's two different items. So when you add them together, prices are going to be more. And again, I don't know how this works as to your process, so I apologize. But I just wanted to make that aware that you're looking at that. And by no means do I want to negotiate or anything to try and do anything for my business, except for just to make sure that you watch them. And if you have any questions, to please reach out to me. Also want to stress that we're a county company. And the two companies that also bid are from Pittsburgh and New Jersey. And I don't know if you have representatives from the prison here or not, but you will know that they have some turnover, 40 to 50 a year. The old bid was for a massive amount, 200 shirts, 200 pants. And that's easy, lick them, stick them, deal and send them. Nowadays, it's not like that. And when they call me, say, hey, we just hired someone, we're sending them up to get them a size, one person at a time, get them for them. So to a point, I don't think you're matching apples to apples. People don't know what they're getting into. Are they going to come from New Jersey every week to measure someone for no cost and then ship 3 items at no cost, when that's exactly what we do? And then associated with their over the years, again, policy, they're able to get boots now. They're able to get belts. They're able to get garments for on their belts, similar to our sheriff over here. That all needs measured. And I don't know how you put a price on it, how you question the people that bid on it, but I just wanted to make it aware that it's a different scenario. And when the bid came back out, it wasn't very, it was pretty vague. It just said, give me a price on this and this and this and this. And I don't know. You know, we know what it is, but competitors do not know what that entails.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming and explaining it, because obviously there are, I don't know if hidden costs, but there are savings, and there's other dollar figures that, and like you said, how do you calculate it? I don't know, but you're right. We're not sending people to Pittsburgh every time a bid comes in. We can send them 2 blocks away. And we would love to support a county business in general anyway. But for one like that, if it was, you're right, if it was just 200 in and 200 out, then it's not that big of a deal. But when it's a recurring basis, those are factors that should be calculated somehow or estimated somehow. So thank you for coming in and explaining that side.
Yeah, like I said, you'll notice multiple line items on one line item. But when I add them together and it's $140 and somebody else is bidding $40, I can't.
Right.
It throws me out the ballpark.
Right. How long have you had the contract?
Well, the current bid, I don't think it's been out for bid for about 5 years.
Okay.
But I've had the county prison bid since I've been in business in '99, so 26 years.
Okay.
Do you know what department you work with? When you said you tried to call to get some clarification?
I tried to leave a message with Maya Toon's office.
Okay.
Didn't have any return
So
call.
we may need to, I mean, this was just a bid opening, so it was not awarded at this point. We may need to evaluate that bid and add a service level line item to it, obviously, so.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe these people are figuring that, but the one price in particular seemed very manufactured, that there's just no way that there's no way they would come up here 40 or 50 times to measure people up with. And then, okay, one eat boots the next, and we do it, of course, being here a day.
Right.
They'll send me an email, hey, we got somebody to measure up, we're there.
Well, thank you.
I apologize.
Thank you. No. Thank you for coming in. Don't apologize.
Very good.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Todd Woodard, Clinton Township, 790 McNatt Road. Again, wanted to talk about the budget. While I'm appreciative of the $10,000 you have in the budget for the West Branch Firemen's Association, as I told you many times previously, our only source of funding is from the Commissioner's office. After one of the past couple of meetings, Scott, you said to Paul McKinley and I that we need to find another source of funding. I asked you where. I went to First Community.
I recommended that you.
I know, I'm saying, I'm asking you where, because I went to First Community, can't help us. I went to the Chamber of Commerce, can't help us. I even asked Jason Fink, I said, could you assist us with getting in front of the businesses in the community? And he said, that's your job. Go one-on-one with them. Well, as you know, I'm as busy as anyone else. And I thought maybe we would get some assistance from them, and we didn't. But we have a meeting tonight at my fire station at 2311 State Route 54 with representatives from HAC about this training that our training committee has spoken with Matt Hetrick from Harrisburg. I think it's HAC or Bucks Community. I'm not sure who or both are coming tonight. Any or all of you are welcome to come sit in, but from the training hours that we did last year with the training packages that they offered that they no longer offer, we spent a little less than $8,000 to train all the firefighters completely free in Lycoming, Sullivan counties. Now, just the amount of hours that we used last year at their new price is over $15,000 for next year. And our last 5 to 6 years, our amount of hours has averaged to be the same. So the $10,000 will not pay for the training, plus our insurances and everything else that we provide to the county, like the PAT tags, supplies, and all that sort of stuff that we do. So I don't know where to get the funding from. Our only funding is from the commissioners. That's the only place it's been. That's why I've asked for several years to be a line item that gets funded so that we can properly budget instead of beg. We're not able to come up with any funding anywhere else. We've tried, we've talked to some people about larger grants through fire commissioner's office and stuff, and they have some grants available, but that's only for the training facilities. They don't have a grant to fund us to do what we do. We're stuck in this position. So I don't know how the bed tax works, but you have the taxes on the hotels for all that sort of stuff. And the Visitors Bureau gets a significant amount of money. I'm not sure where that comes from, but as you know, when we have Little League in town and we have all these big events in town, people come from all over and they're staying in the hotels. It also drives up the call volume for public safety, police, fire, and EMS. So that's, in my opinion, that's a place that you should consider trying to pull money from there, set it aside for the West Branch Firemen's Association every year so that we can fund the operation of the 2 training sites. We're doing everything we can. I can appreciate when you say you're trying to cut costs, because I think every fire department in this county, every fire department in the country that is volunteer and has organizations like this, we're doing it on shoestrings. So at a very minimal lack of funding. So again, I'm here on behalf of the West Branch Firemen's Association to request, beg, whatever word you want to use. We can't do it without funding. We don't have the reserves to continue this. And as I said, we're doing everything that we can to continue to have the highest level of training that we can provide for our volunteers. So if you'd like to talk about the budget, because I have the whole separate item, I hope we get another 3 minutes. But I invite all 3 of you to come to that meeting tonight and sit in, listen, and maybe you have some ideas that we don't have. So this is in regards to the landfill. On Friday, November 28th, we were dispatched, my fire department, I'm chief of the Clinton Township Department that covers Clinton and Brady Township. And of course, that includes Lycoming County Resource Management Services, the landfill, and the entire structure over there, the property. So we were dispatched at 6:25 in the morning for a working structure fire in building number 1, which is your recycling center. I'm going to go through this as best I can from my notes. Dan DeSanto, county employee, these are all county employees, found a fire on the tipping floor of the recycling building. Brian Hillis contacted 911 and called Ty Drick, who was on the working face as an equipment operator, because there were only 2 equipment operators working that day. So Ty, I believe, is the number 2 person at the landfill. So he responded from the working face down to the recycling center and assisted. Eric Evelyn is one of the mechanics, and he's also my assistant chief, responded from the upper garage to assist with the fire and direct the incoming fire department units. Ty Drick and Doug Leonard used front end loaders to pull burning material out of the building into the parking lot that they could. Landon Ernest and Aaron Harmon used the water truck at the Lycoming County landfill to put out as much fire as they could with the turret on top, and there's an extendable hose off the back of that. And Brian Mull and Gavin, or forgive me if I say this wrong, Figley, used hoses and hose from the water truck to try to contain the fire as much as possible. Brian Mull, Dan DeSanto, and Brian Hillis all went to Muncie Valley Hospital to be evaluated and treated for smoke inhalation based on signs and symptoms that they showed to us there. I encouraged them to go because they were all coughing and stating they had some mild symptoms, for lack of a better word. And I said, it's best that you go get treated because of the plastics. And if you know anything about smoke inhalation and carbon monoxide, it's attaches itself to the hemoglobin and makes it hard for your cells to absorb oxygen into them. And I told them at worst case, you'll go back home in an hour, or at best case, you'll go back home in an hour. The medium, you'll stay there for a while with some oxygen therapy. In worst case, you'll end up going to Altoona and be put in a hyperbaric chamber. And my fire department has done that to people that have had some carbon monoxide problems. They were flown to Altoona because they were that critical. So these 9 gentlemen at great risk to themselves worked feverishly without the proper respiratory protective equipment to attempt to extinguish this fire prior to the fire department arriving on scene. Had these men not done what they had and simply chose to evacuate to a safe location, as many facilities and factories in the county do, and then report the fire to 911, the landfill would no longer have that recycling center. That building is the bane of my existence at that whole property. The garbage burning is just as bad, but the garbage that's in the ground has already made its money, and we're not going to lose people to try to save that garbage pile. So they would no longer have the recycling center or any of its contents. And you have offices and another workshop and things in there. The fire protection system is severely inadequate for that building and its fire load. And the fire department, along with the equipment operators, worked for over 2.5 hours to completely extinguish all the burning materials. And I think these employees should be recognized for doing much more than just their job that day and for saving the county millions of dollars in damages and lost revenue. And this is the 5th fire this year at LCRMS. And practically everyone has been attributed to lithium-ion batteries being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to see the video from the cameras in there. I watched it. I have a portion of it on my phone that we were using to do a critique at the fire station afterwards. And from the time that the original loader operator was working to remove material and move material around in there, he exited the building with the loader. And when he came in the door, went to the left, there was smoke behind him to the right. And when he backed up and turned around, the rear end of the loader kind of grazed that stuff and opened it up and gave it the oxygen it needed. And that fire grew exponentially in minutes to where the smoke was banked down to knee height when I arrived, and the garage doors were all the way up. That's the problems with these plastics and recycling. I have not heard what the official damage report was. I know there was some HVAC. I know the fire alarm system, there was some damage to that in the tipping floor, but had it got into the conveyor and spread, we would not save that building. You would have lost that entire building. And I know that provides income through the recycling, and it helps with the operations down there. But these guys are not one of them, with the exception of my assistant chief, have any training in firefighting, are not members of fire departments to my knowledge, but they jumped in. And if you watch the video, you can't see them within minutes from the camera. You can barely see the loaders coming in and out. So I know you guys like to give out commendations, and these guys deserve a cake, box of donuts or something, because I can tell you there are some firemen in fire departments that wouldn't rush into that building without the proper equipment. And these guys didn't question, didn't ask. They just worked. And they don't have to, as far as I know, unless it's in your policy. They could have went to a rally point and said, let the cavalry come take care of it. And it would have been quite the conflagration, and you would have lost that building. So I can't stress enough how proud I was of these guys and what they did. And we did our part to make sure that we evaluated all the people that were inside there and recommended for the 3 of them to go. So I hope that doesn't cause any grief, but you can yell at me because I was concerned for their health and safety.
As we were too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other public comment at this time? Any online?
We do have some online comments, and I also want to thank you as well for bringing that up about RMS. I'd stopped out approximately 11 o'clock that morning, and those gentlemen were back at work. And I thank them, for everything that they did so quickly and efficiently. And they had everything cleaned up by the time I got there. So I commend you, and I thank you for bringing those gentlemen to the forefront so we can acknowledge that. I appreciate that. Hey, online comments. Blair Stewart, 17. Thank you all for serving our beautiful county. Lycoming secrets. Without passing judgment, is there a reason the commissioners are cutting $300,000 from the library budget? From Lyco Watch. Without passing judgment on that question, Lyco Secrets, the county is hurting for money for all services. The library needs to reinstate their late fees and start doing stuff on their end to fundraise. More people need to understand the voluminous amount of funding that came with COVID is no longer coming. The county doesn't have an endless pot for everyone. From Blair Stewart, 17. Thank you for honoring those who lost their lives at Pearl Harbor. My grandfather was at Iwo Jima a few years after, and I think about him every day. Charles William Stewart of Jackson, Tennessee. Thank you for your grandfather's service. From Thomas Adams, 3614. Good morning, Lycoming County. I hope we will encourage each other to allow Christmas to brighten our hearts and minds, to allow the light of life of Christmas, great hope for mankind to live. Sorry. I apologize. This is not cooperating. Okay, I'm so sorry. Great hope for mankind to live for a purpose outside of ourselves, to bring the message of hope and light to a challenging and darkening world in order to bring peace, determination, and joy for the good of our communities. As the gospel, my apologies, I'm having technical difficulties with YouTube. It's cutting things off. And that's where it ends, as the gospel. And it says, bless America and may God bless Lycoming County. Harper will try. It would, it's like it's cutting these in half. I'm so sorry. Okay, there we are. I think we're okay now. In order to bring peace, determination, and joy for the good of our communities, as the gospel is the bedrock to our civil duties and rights of our system government. If we live in fear and despair, we will ensure the future destruction of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to perish from the earth. As our founders, righteousness and justice can only survive in a nation rooted in the Judeo-Christian ethic. May we be a source of light for the true light of liberty. May God bless America and may God bless Lycoming County. And from Harper will try. It would be logical, compassionate, and fair to raise property taxes to pay for our public libraries. An aversion to any increase in taxes is myopic and only sounds good to the already well-off conservatives. At some point, taxes must be raised, if not property taxes, then some other way. A community with a suffering library system is a suffering community. Hoping everyone can stay warm. Remember the reason for the season is the Oak King defeating the Holly King on the winter solstice. Warmer and better days ahead, especially if Republicans keep losing elections like they did this past November. Socialist programs like firefighting, infrastructure upkeep, and education are hallmarks of a great and functional society. And then Lee Lobsher, 6458. Thank you for recognizing the professionalism of the landfill staff. They're doing an excellent job with the skeleton crew. How long they can continue to do this is anyone's guess. And then from Lyco Watch, have the West Branch Firemen's Association reached out to other firemen's associations to see where they get their funding. After being stretched to the brink, the county still gave $10,000. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. We have completed our agenda, so we will be adjourned. There's nothing further until Thursday, December 11th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.